So this is James chapter 3, the scripture for the 29th of June. I think that the book of James, the epistle of James in its entirety, disabuses us of the childhood notion that sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Specifically, this chapter hits on that with some of the discussion it has around the role of the tongue and the role that human words can play. I think the part of the human animal that's in fact able to do the most damage is the tongue. For this reason, teachers are judged more strictly than others, since their errors can negatively impact all who learn from them. Yet, I think we all need to take responsibility for our speech, even if we're not explicitly named as teachers. We all have people who look up to us. Family, friends, even perhaps some that we don't know about. We don't always know who's listening to us, which means that we need to exercise control in how we speak, no matter in what context we're speaking. This is one of the primary reasons that I personally strive not to swear, particularly in my everyday speech. While there are times when the right word for a situation is a vulgar word, I find that the more license that I give to my tongue, the more it seeks to set things on fire, damaging relationships and hurting others. And this doesn't just happen with cussing, mind you. Social media allows for us to really be abusive toward other people, sharing gotchas that take an entire set of people and flatten them into one way of thinking that we can dunk on easily, that we can really just have a laugh at their expense. And we do this frequently on social media instead of actively engaging other people or actively engaging other ideas. Instead of doing that, we glory in making fun of them. This is not the way we're called to live as Christians. And it's another subtler way that the tongue can burn relationships and destroy others. So what James is exhorting Christians to in this chapter particularly is consistency in behavior and consistency in speech as well. There are no days off from serving or bearing witness on behalf of Christ, nor is there retirement from the Christian life. If we're called to be fresh water, using James's term, then we need to be fresh water in every arena. There's no part of our lives that's shielded from the lordship of Jesus Christ. I think that this is what a life of gentleness, born of wisdom, looks like. Now, I've heard it said that Christian, the term, is a great noun and a terrible adjective. And I think that there's some wisdom to that, but I wonder if that's because we've watered down the meaning of Christian as an adjective to being just, this is something generated by someone who calls themselves a Christian. When we think of contemporary Christian music, for example, the bands often that produce contemporary Christian music are the bands that make sure that everybody else knows that, hey, we're Christians here. We make Christian music. Now, I wonder if that way of thinking of the adjective just is not useful. And in fact, if we need to think of the adjective of Christian as similar to how James describes wisdom in verse 17 of this chapter, I think it seems like a great definition of Christian as an adjective. Instead of calling a business a Christian business simply because a Christian runs it, what if we only referred to businesses showing the attributes of verse 17 in this chapter as Christian? I wonder, how might that improve Christian as an adjective? And would it make businesses run by Christians have to use another adjective? I wonder. And for you, I wonder, which quality of a Christian do you struggle with most with respect to verse 17? Is there one of those qualities you find hardest to embody? That's all for James chapter 3. Tomorrow, the 30th of June, we'll be looking at James chapter 4. May God bless you in your reading of Scripture.